As we're on the run up to Christmas and also Singles Day, I thought I would share my experiences of the last holiday we just had here in China, which was Mid-Autumn Festival, or 中秋节. At this time of the year in China, if you're part of any kind of public system, like a school, you will most likely have about a week off, in which time people often travel. Other than being a nice surprise for foreigners here in China, it's also a time of huge mass migration. Lots and lots of people go back home to their hometown or come and visit somewhere new with family. So this year, me and a couple of friends decided to go and visit Shenyang. And while we were in Shenyang, we also decided to go and visit Dandong, a small town which is famous for its haixian, which is fresh seafood, and also famous for being a couple of meters away from North Korea. I thought I might share some of the images I took on our trip to Shenyang, which are already up on my Instagram page, which you can go and follow if you follow the link up here, and kind of talk you through some of them. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about our trip to Dandong and show you some of the photographs that I took while we were there and tell you some of the stories that we had there. So stay tuned for that one. When we arrived in Shenyang, we got there very, very late, and there was an issue with our booking system. We booked online using booking.com, which usually works very well here in China, but this time we had an error, and we ended up staying in this abandoned office block on the 15th floor in a room with about 12 guys. And the next day we went for an extremely long walk, and I was really, really excited to get my teeth stuck into a new city, because I've been in Beijing for a while and I've been to other places in China, but I've never been that far north. When I'm in China, I love to talk to people on the streets and try and get some good portraits of people. I find, especially people working in the food industry, elderly people on the street, they have so much history and wisdom in their face, and I love to photograph it. When I do take pictures of people, I'm often looking for small quirks and things that you wouldn't usually look at if you were just walking by. So this first image, I really, really love the pattern in this image. So for a start, you have the old man who's looking at this young girl crossing the street. And then you have the two women who are on the advertisement on the bus looking back at this guy. If you read the image from right to left or left to right, you have a nice kind of pattern of views. Or you can go for the two women looking at the man who's then looking at the other woman, and it kind of goes around in a circle. So I really like the quirkiness of this image. And this one I also loved. We were walking down the street and I caught this street cleaner who was taking a break from work. It was an extremely cold day, and if you weren't in the sun, it was fucking cold, and the shade was just unbearable to be in. So she'd obviously taken a break in the small crack of sunshine that there was on this street. And walking past, I just instantly saw this accidental Renaissance kind of painting almost, and snapped it. And it was one of my favorite photographs from this trip. This guy was selling fish, and he was extremely proud of his fish, and he wanted to show everybody walking by, and managed to quickly take a picture of him before he kind of put them down and said, no. Really loved this picture because the guy just looks so badass, just like staring up at the camera with his bag of fish. This is, again, another one of my favorite pictures from this trip. I think if you live in China, or you come here often and you haven't been to Shenyang, you should definitely go and check out Shenyang. Other than just having great people, it's also a fantastic city. It's incredibly open plan and so cold in the winter. It kind of feels like a Scandinavian or a Canadian kind of town. Although I've never been to any of those places, it's kind of reminds me of pictures that I've seen of those kind of places. It's also incredibly clean. I'm not sure how they've achieved that, but it's a lot cleaner than other big cities of around the same size, which is around 8 to 9 million, I think. They also have a really beautiful park in the centre of town, which is where I took this picture of the girl posing for a photo through the archway. Okay, so that's some of my pictures from Shenyang. If you want to see more of them, if you head over to my Instagram page, which I'll put up in there again, and it's also in the link down below. If you tune into my next video, we'll be looking at the rest of that trip, which will take us to Dandong, and we'll be talking about some of the stories and also showing you some of the photographs I took there on the North Korean border. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more, and check out the Instagram, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.